Welcome to the Game Week 5 team selection. There is a decision to make in goal this game week, with Rob Elliott and Newcastle having kept 2 consecutive clean sheets, ahead of their home fixture against Stoke. Ben Foster, meanwhile, also has a favourable fixture, at home to West Ham, but West Brom have failed to keep a clean sheet since game week 2. For now, Ben Foster gets the nod, with West Ham also looking far from convincing this season, despite getting their first win against Huddersfield on Monday night. In defence, Cedric Soares and Phil Jones will keep their places, as Southampton travel to an out-of-form Crystal Palace, while Manchester United host Everton. Crystal Palace are the only team to have failed to score a single goal this season, but having recently sacked Frank de Boer, will they show some fight in Game Week 5? Everton, meanwhile, have scored just 2 goals themselves. Only Bournemouth and Crystal Palace have managed fewer. Ronald Koeman's side have taken just 7 shots on target this season, which is level with Swansea, and no team in the Premier League has managed fewer. The third spot in defence for now is Ben Mee, ahead of a tricky away trip to Anfield. Initially, the plan was to take Mbemba on the wildcard last game week, to play him for Newcastle's home fixture against Stoke, but that was no longer an option after his injury during international break. One potential option is to sell Kyle Norton for a Newcastle defender, with the free transfer. With Swansea changing formation, he's no longer being used in a wing-back role, and while Swansea do have some good fixtures coming up, the same is true for Newcastle. Ben Mee does have significant goal threat from set pieces though, having already taken 1 attempt per game on average, with 50% of his efforts finding the target. Liverpool for the last few seasons have had a weakness in defending corners. The plan in midfield for Game Week 5 was to be able to rotate Tom Carroll out for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Despite Crystal Palace having failed to score so far, a home game against Southampton would have been preferable to Swansea's away trip to Spurs. However, the Palace midfielder failed to make the matchday squad last game week, so it appears he may have suffered an injury setback in training. We'll monitor the situation there, but for now, playing Tom Carroll is the only option. He is against his former club, and looked handy from set pieces against Newcastle last game week, as well as seeing an effort on target denied by a save from the goalkeeper. Last week wasn't great for Henrik Mkhitaryan or Mohamed Salah, but both midfielders will get another chance for their home fixtures in Game Week 5. There are no changes to note up front, with Romelu Lukaku, Harry Kane and Roberto Firmino lining up once again, each with home fixtures this weekend. Down the line, it looks like downgrading the Man United forward could be an option, despite his regular goals, when the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Alvaro Morata are keeping up with him for cheaper. But the next 3 games still look good for Lukaku. He's against his former club this weekend, before facing a Southampton side that have won just 1 of 4 games this season, and a Crystal Palace side that have failed to win a game so far. So Game Week 8 could be the time to look at making that move. Harry Kane announced his return to form with a brace against Everton last game week. He's our standout option for captaincy, with a home fixture against Swansea this weekend for Spurs. The Swans have conceded a total of 78 goal attempts this season, which is level with Burnley, and no Premier League team has conceded more. Follow FPLtips on Twitter to be notified of any updates to the team in advance of the game week deadline.